Netease is about to drop a ton of skins on us this week, and it seems as if Netease may have not been completely honest when they denied some rumors about what's coming for Valentine's Day. For more news like this, stick around for this week's episode of This Week in Identity 5. Welcome back to another episode of This Week in Identity 5, guys. We've got a lot of news. We got a lot of stuff that came out last week, and we got a lot of stuff that's coming out this week. So let's get straight into it. What we got last week was that we got Season 19 Essence 3 that brought along, of course, Weeping Clan's S tier, an A tier skin for Little Girl, and an A tier skin for Dream Witch, of which I have not seen any of them in the game. I am a Hunter main, so of course there's only one Survivor skin that is an A tier skin, so it does lessen the chances of me seeing it. Of course, with Season 19 and the introduction of the S tier skin for Weeping Clan, we also got Weeping Clan himself as a character that you are able to play with a slight little bug and a little oversight that Netease didn't think about. Weeping Clan, as I've already talked about for quite a few weeks now, I do think he's probably going to be very strong, but I have not played against him yet, and we have yet to see where he falls in the meta, and if he's going to just be B tier like some of the other survivors are. Connected to the new essence, we also got a memory sphere reset that is the essence by setting 3 guaranteed things. One for a skin, one for an accessory, and so on and so on. I haven't actually received my 2 higher tier things yet from the original addition of this to the game, so I've yet to see those things come to me, but hey, we'll just have to wait until I get those. As for a quality of life update, they have added the option, as I was talking before, there's a little bit of an oversight, they've added the option to choose characters and also change map within the single training match itself. There's a mode where you can practice any character that you want, even if you haven't got them. It's called the single training mode, and before, what you had to do is you had to leave and then rejoin to choose a different character and to choose a different map. Now, within the match itself, you can swap between maps and also swap between characters. But they forgot that they shouldn't have added Weeping Clan, because now you can access Weeping Clan and test him out yourself without having to have unlocked him, or without having to wait until next week when they usually add them to the single training mode. It's also available to reset the palettes. It's going to be great for practicing kiting routes and stuff like that, but also really good for YouTubers like me that want to record certain characters' abilities without the complications of having to go into quick matches and wait for those kind of things. Another quality of life option that they've added that I was confused as to their implementation was that they have been recently talking about adding brightness options to some of the maps, but they have done that, but only if you're under the performance mode in the graphics setting. I'm not sure if this is going to be implemented a little bit wider than that, because not everyone is on performance mode, but I hope that Netease does fix some of the brightness issues. They added a sweet little thing to the room picture mode, where now, if you want to be a little bit creative and take some great pictures, now you can take up to 20 room pictures. You can like them, share them, and now you have the ability to move around the room without having to be locked onto the character's position where you are. So you can move the camera into pretty much any position except for looking straight down and straight up. So it is kind of fine, I guess. I can understand maybe why they added that. Hey, it's a really cool addition, and I'm really looking forward to seeing people's creative ideas, because there are some really creative room pictures already that I've seen. Oh, Smiley Face also got his voiceover redone so that means he now has a different voice actor, I think. It's very, very different, and I think it's less obnoxious and loud and piercing, but I don't really know if I like it more. I think I do like it more, but I'm not completely sure. Of course, what we got last week as well, we got the beginning of the Lunar New Year event that has a ton of little things that you're supposed to do. I've completely lost track of everything that you're supposed to do in this thing, but by logging in daily, you're going to get some rewards. Also, by participating in matches, you'll unlock some special currency, and eventually you're able to unlock an A tier unlock card for any A tier skin that you want, as long as it's not limited, I believe. And this event also brought along some stuff to the shop. So now in the shop, you're able to buy Spyglass package. You're also able to buy the light firecracker emotes, both male and female, I believe, and a emote for Prospector called the Request Red package emote, and a Send Red packet emote for Wu Chang. The event shop also got some Lunar New Year event stuff as well, where you're now able to get a B tier costume that's kind of red for Sia, and a B tier costume for Vista that is also red, and a lantern accessory that's kind of nice. And you're also able to access the Happy Lunar New Year emotes and the Light Fireworks emote that are all kind of interesting. One of them is very loud and slightly toxic, but hey, Netease doesn't really care about that too much, I see. One thing I haven't seen in the game yet, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it, is they've updated Chinatown to have the Wishing Lights event, where now there are little special lanterns around the Chinatown map to celebrate the new year. So I hope that if you guys have seen that, that's really cool. I really want to see it, because they're also going to be adding another update to Chinatown next week. It should be very exciting. Oh, also connected to Kowa 5, everyone has been participating on matches over the past week, and the top 8 clubs have now been decided, and those ones will now eventually go to a tournament where they'll compete against each other, and we'll see which team is going to represent NAEU in the global finals. Moving on to what we can expect from next week's update. We of course are getting some Lunar New Year events that are going to be happening on the 31st, and some things that are happening in February as well. What we'll be able to get on the by completing a quest on the 31st is we'll be able to get a priestess spray called Ephemeral. Also, event 4 will open, called Praying Plaza, where you'll be able to send wishing lanterns to each other with special messages that you guys will be able to put. They're supposed to be wishes, I believe. And also, there's going to be a mini fireworks event in Praying Plaza, that is where all the characters are, and there'll be cool fireworks there, and they will give out some red packets that will give us clues, fragments, trial cards, and permanent costumes. I'm not quite sure which ones they are right now, but I'm pretty sure that Netease has announced them. If I can find them, I'll be putting them on the screen right now. We're also getting tons of skins this week. We're getting an A costume that I believe is the once skin for Violinist. Beautiful skin. Really looking forward to seeing that skin in game. Coordinator is getting her Ivory Tower B costume. That's yet another one to the addition of the Ivory Tower event that should be coming back again later on. All of them for you to be able to purchase them. We're getting a new event that is the Penrose Maze event that I talked about a little bit last week, where you'll be able to unlock an S tier costume, and I think also an A tier or S tier accessory for Explorer. That is a very interesting skin. Not sure if I like it, but it's definitely interesting. And along with this event, if you obtain Nightingale's Blessings, you'll be able to redeem an SS costume for Perfuma after you've bought her as well as her S tier skin, I believe. Craziness, I'm not completely sure how that's going to work out, but we'll find out. We're also getting a Deduction Star skin for Prisoner, that is that kind of Roman gladiator themed one. And on the 31st of January, because the previous ones are coming out on the patch update, that is the 27th, I believe. On the 31st of January, we are getting the A costume for Doctor, that I believe is another once skin. We're getting an A costume for Prospector, and we're getting some Lunar Event Spyglass packages. We're getting a fireworks show in Chinatown that should be kind of like an update. I'm not sure how many days that we'll have it for, but there should be some fireworks in the sky. And on the 1st of February, we are getting the Shadow Play skin, I believe, for Priestess, and a clue package for the Lunar New Year event. Whew, it's a lot of stuff. How about some leaks and some rumors? Well, as I said, Netease wasn't completely honest when they told us that Ada and Emil, Patient and Psychologist, wouldn't be getting a skin for Valentine's Day. They could have elaborated by saying that we are going to be getting something that's related to them though, because it seems like they've leaked a portrait of both Ada and Emil. So true, they were honest, but also at the same time, they weren't giving us the complete truth. But I do think there'll probably be an event related to this, since these are going to be, of course, these two lovers are very kind of iconic characters now. We are getting some emotes for survivors that I believe were originally supposed to be for Weeping Clown, but for some reason, some issues that the game had, they've had to give them instead to Mercenary and to Norton. That would be Prospector. So I'm not sure how true this is, but some of these emotes have been kind of shown and they look kind of funny and cool. Oh, and the SS tier skin for Perfuma should have an animated card. So by card, I mean every skin has a different card. A tiers have like a purple card, S have like a gold card, and B tiers and lower have like blue and green. Well, the SS one is going to be white and it looks very different than any of the other ones. and apparently it's going to be animated as well, or at least maybe the character itself will be animated within the card. This is a great addition, and I don't know why they don't do this already with kind of S tier skins, because that would make more sense. Moving on to the talk in the manor, where I respond to your comments that you guys left on my recent videos. Elias Giannakakis says, if you change into small objects, does it lower your hitbox? Because if it does, you just turn into a potato and make it impossible for the killer to injure you. The answer is yes. In Prop Night, the video that I recently released just over the weekend, you can turn as a survivor into any object around the map. And yes, that includes a potato. And it's much more difficult to hit a potato in motion. I don't think it completely makes your hitbox the size of a potato, but it drastically reduces your hitbox and makes it way more difficult for the hunter to track you, because they are of course in first person whilst you're in third person. Merlia Wei says, I don't know how you pronounce that, sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, I probably butchered that. Isn't this ability completely overcome by voice communication? Haha. Yes, his ability to transform into another survivor is kind of beaten by voice communication. That is true. Although I do think that it would still take some survivors by surprise if you're kind of very careful with it. But his ability to transform into kind of prop items is definitely something that could not be counted. For example, in a match that I played before I recorded the video, I transformed into a teddy bear and just sat next to a generator, or they're called prop machines in the game, and I just waited for a survivor to come up because I knew that they were going to finish decoding that one because it was nearly done, and I just transformed when they started to get in the gen and I hit them and knocked them down. So this is another strategy when they can't counter it. And of course he also has his overcharge ability that helps him locate survivors. That's something that the others don't really have, the other killers don't really have in the game. And his ability to transform into a survivor means that he can also sprint. That's something that the other killers can't do either. Mystic says, mug makes this even more amazing. Yeah, I didn't bring along my special mug today, but I'm planning on adding a mug to the membership emotes, so make sure you look out for that and become a member by clicking on the join button down by the subscribe button if you want to get cool little emotes that you'll be able to use in the comment section and also in the live streams. And of course, a little badge next to your name that makes you stand out more to me because it highlights you in the chat. That's really cool. What are your thoughts on their new implementation on the brightness thing with the performance mode in the settings? Do you think that they should make it more broad and maybe have a setting where you can just turn on or turn off, turning up the brightness for the darker maps? Or do you think it should only be accessible to certain graphics requirements and graphics levels? Tell me down in the comments below. Whilst you're down there, remember to subscribe and like the video if you want to get more news every single week about Identity V. Have a great day, guys.